Welcome back to Muambonge Cinema channel. Today, I will show you a sci-fi film from 2011 titled 15 Million Merits. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. In the far future, poor people live in facilities where they must ride stationary bikes to earn merits, which they use to pay for most of their daily actions. Food costs merits, but so does the bit of toothpaste they consume every morning. Their rooms are small squares, covered with screens that can be used to play games, which must also be paid for. These screens even play adult ads while they're in the bathroom, and skipping those costs merits as well. Each user has an avatar in the system, and getting clothes and decorations for it must be paid for too. There are no vacations or breaks. The facility is their only life unless they spend a huge amount of merits on a golden ticket to appear on the talent show Hot Shot, which could possibly earn them a better life. One of these bike riders is Bing Madsen, who has over 15 million merits. He isn't a big spender, preferring his avatar to stay basic, but he does skip all the ads whenever they pop up and spends his evenings playing video games. Bing doesn't care for the talent show or dumb comedies, so he sticks to music or landscapes while he bikes. This is very different from the guy on the bike next to him, Dustin, who is rude and obnoxious. Watches adult movies in the biking room in front of everyone, and makes fun of people with health problems because of the bike. Bing can't stand him. Another coworker of his is Swift, a young woman who practices violin while she bikes and has a crush on Bing. One day during lunch, Swift teaches him how to get apples from the machine whenever they get stuck, but Bing only thanks her before going to his table. Later that day, Bing is trying to play video games when another ad appears on the screen. Tired of this, he closes his eyes to have a moment of screen peace, but this only causes the system to put all the screens on red and start blaring a warning that he should resume viewing. Bing gives up, opens his eyes. The next morning, he notices there's a new coworker in the elevator, a beautiful girl named Abby Khan. One of the bikers isn't on his station either, and that's because he couldn't take it anymore, so he became a cleaner, which Dustin makes fun of him for. Later in the bathroom, Bing hears a beautiful singing voice coming from one of the stalls and discovers it's Abby, starting to develop a crush on her. Bing tries to talk to her but doesn't know what to say. Abby takes over the bike that was freed by the guy who became a cleaner, and Bing keeps glancing at her while he rides, which makes Swift jealous. During lunch, Abby uses the paper bag the apple comes in to make an origami penguin, but when she puts it on her bike as decoration, the cleaner takes it away because it isn't allowed. So when he goes to bed later that night, he can't stop thinking about her and keeps singing the tune he heard from her in the bathroom. When he sees the ads for Hot Shot on the screens, he gets an idea. The next day, Bing sees Abby's apple got stuck in the machine and teaches her how to get it out, taking the chance to start a proper conversation this time. Abby just turned 21, which is the age people are taken into the biking system. She wanted to go to the same facility as her sister, but that one is full, so she's here now. Bing uses the same joke about healthy food that Swift had used on him and explains how the unhealthy food is cheaper, but you have to burn it later, and then you'll want even more sugar, creating a vicious circle. He also tells her he heard her sing and thinks she has a beautiful voice, but Abby downplays it, saying it isn't a big deal and it's just a song her family has passed from mother to daughter for years. Believing she has the skills to go big, Bing mentions she should go to Hot Shot, and if she doesn't have the 12 million, then he'll gift them to her. Later, when he's back in his room, Bing discovers that the ticket costs 15 million, which would leave him with only 9,000 merits left. He decides to go for it anyway. Abby gifts Bing an origami penguin, pointing out that it folds flat so he can hide it in his waistband. In return, Bing holds her hand to comfort her when he notices how nervous she is. When they get to the studio, she gets a temporary tattoo on his hand that allows him to enter as well. Then they go to the waiting room, which is crowded with participants waiting for their turn. Some of them arrived today, but others have been there for a whole week. Because of her good looks, she's chosen to go next. This makes a singer named Glee complain about the lack of respect for a rival order, but the bouncer reminds her he's just following commands from the people in charge. Abby is taken to do a screen test, which only consists of recording her in front of the camera. A stagehand gives her a carton of a drink called Cup Lines, but she's told it's compulsory for all contestants to calm their nerves and keep them from puking. There are 3 judges waiting for her: Hope, Charity, and Wraith. Hope encourages her to go ahead and sing, but Wraith keeps asking her to take off her clothes. Abby ignores him and sings "Anyone Who Knows What Love Is" by Irma Thomas, and the public likes her, except for Swift, who continues to be jealous of her. Hope and Charity also like her performance, but Wraith looks bored the entire time. It's Hope who cuts her song short and tells her that while this is the best singing they have this season, her voice is just good, not great. However, she is absolutely gorgeous, and she would do great in Wraith's adult channel. The 3 judges begin pressuring her into accepting a role in adult films, reminding her this is the only way to succeed and leave the biking life behind. Bing is backstage seeing all this and tries to rescue her, but security takes him away right before Abby, still feeling the effects of the brain fog and overwhelmed by the audience chanting "do it" at her, accepts the deal. But the way she says "I suppose" shows she's not at all happy about it. Meanwhile, Bing, with the shard still against his neck, rages about the system on a new show, but once it's over, he shifts back to a calm demeanor, inviting viewers to tune in next week for another speech. Now, he resides in a luxurious apartment filled with fresh orange juice, a proper penguin figurine, and a scenic view of a forest, free from the incessant commercials.